Hello world, and welcome back to the Global Frequency. Today we're tuning in to some of the projects we managed to get our hands on from independent creators who really caught our eye. I'm Aaron, and this is Featured on the Frequency. But before we get into the books, I want to give a special shout out to Frank Salazar for designing this awesome t-shirt adorned with his personal motto, "Make comics, not excuses." I think we can all agree those are some words to live by. Now on to the featured projects. First up, we have issue number 1 of Jeff Lafferty's Berserkernaut. If you missed the first episode of Coffee and Comics, where Garrett and I review Murder Falcon number 1, you may not know how much we like to see giant, goofy robot arms fist face the forces of evil. So you may want to go check it out for yourself, or you could just take my word for it. Either way, Jeff Lafferty delivers a satisfying cybernetic beatdown in the 24 full-color pages of Berserkernaut. Okay, so Jeff is a professional illustrator. He's worked for DreamWorks, Hasbro, Marvel Studios, and with Berserkernaut, he's bringing his talent to the world of crowdfunded indie comics. In Jeff's own words, Berserkernaut number 1 is the story of a mysterious monster hunter who shows up to investigate a late-night break-in at the Megatroid Museum, where he encounters a grotesque fiend named Frankenborg, and a titanic 12-page battle ensues. It's a honey-dipped thrill ride through the mind of a madman. Lafferty has this madcap hand-drawn style with bold line work and painterly colors that are cool to look at. His art reminds me of Sam Keith the way he plays with proportion and perspective. He makes use of some extreme angles to punctuate the excitement of the book, which delivers on its cover promise almost immediately. The interior pages are full of frenetic, fast-paced action dialed up to 11. And there are some very cool frames that show off his artistic talent. And the man can draw feet, which is a good sign. You can find Berserkernaut in demand on Indiegogo, and at a cover price of $4 with no additional fee for shipping, I highly recommend you check it out. You can find links to the campaign and Jeff's social media in the description below. Next up, we have a series of comic books from John Celestri, who's been an industry insider since the 1970s. John has worked primarily in animation. You may have seen some of his handiwork on Batman the Animated Series. But with the success of his recent campaign, he's put a whole slate of comics through crowdfunding that are now in demand on Indiegogo. John's comic books are intended to be kid-friendly and have an old-school appeal. Except for Blood Angel, that one's for adults only. Megamoose was originally a black-and-white comic series that John made in 1989. But the new all-color book is only available on Indiegogo. It's the story of Nicky Nardson, a mild-mannered middle schooler who is gifted a magical feather that allows him to transform into Megamoose, a superhero with the combined power of all the animals and insects on the planet. Despite being bullied at school, and let's face it, with a name like Nardson, that's inevitable, Nicky decides to use his powers for good instead of taking revenge on his tormentors. It's a colorful and cartoony comic book filled with the sort of superhero shenanigans one might expect from a 12-year-old boy who's given superpowers as a birthday present. John's other offering, Snuffy and Zoey's Toy Box Adventures, tells the tale of a brother and sister bear who travel through their toy box into their imagination, where they encounter dragons, giant cupcakes, and stinky pirates. There are 2 books to choose from, and both are equally entertaining, with bright, colorful, and cute characters who go on zany adventures. The Snuffy and Zoey series even has a companion book, with scenes you can color as well as instructions on how to draw the characters so you can send them on adventures all your own. In the beginning, there's a letter from John about how he's been drawing since he was 4 years old. It was something he did for fun when he felt bored or lonely, and with all of us stuck at home this winter for one reason or another, it might be a good time to let John help us learn so we aren't bored and lonely too. Not everything's kid-friendly, and maybe not all the books are worth the buy, but this dope-ass Boba Fett certainly was. You can find a link to John Celestri's comics campaign on Indiegogo in the description below. And finally, while we're on the subject of holiday gift giving, This episode would not be complete without an offering from the AAA creators community. This is the third installment in the 9-Volt series of books. Daniel Seckler has hastily organized the AAA creators community's 97-page black and white holiday anthology featuring comics from 10, count 'em, 10 different artists, nestled comfortably behind a stunning full-color cover. This holiday anthology has a little something for everyone. More importantly, the cover price is the cost to print the issue, which means the artists are basically handing out their art without any thought of financial remuneration. That makes this book a gift. The art is free. The only cost is the ink, paper, assembly, binding, and shipping. And considering that the book is sold on Lulu for $6 before tax, that's a great value for 97 pages. Happy holidays indeed. Now for a moment of transparency. Yes, I'm on the AAA Discord, so I know most of the people published in this volume. In fact, I know almost everyone who's been published in the 2 previous issues of 9-Volt, which are also available on Lulu. So you might think I'm just taking an opportunity to plug my friend's work. Well, you're not wrong. But seeing as how anyone can join the AAA Discord and make their way into the pages of a 9-Volt anthology, I might as well be promoting everyone. And this includes you. So many people want to know how to break into comics. Just come join the Discord. Get published in a 9-Volt. It's open to anyone 18 and older. It's that simple. As always, link is in the description below. Anyway, that's it for this episode of Featured on the Frequency. If you've got an independent project you'd like to see featured, reach out to us through our website or leave a comment. Make sure to like, subscribe, click the bell for notifications, and be sure to tune in for more content from Global Frequency Studios. We'll see you next time.